Hi, good morning students. How are you? I hope everyone doing well. Okay, fine. Let's begin our session today. In this session, I'm going to continue the story of attitude is altitude where I stopped in the previous video, and I'm hoping everyone understanding it. Thank you. So I'm going to read the second passage, and I'm hoping everyone looking into books very carefully. Okay, can I continue it? Okay, look into books. Nick Vujicic was born with no arms and legs, but he doesn't let the disease stop him. The brave 26 years old, who is mainly a torso, plays football and golf, swims and surfs despite having no limbs. Look, my dear students, Nick sir got his birth without having legs and arms. Of course, we know that. But the disability did not stop him to achieve his dream, what he kept in his life. You know something? He has only a torso. Torso means not having legs and arms. The main part of the body. The main part of the body we call torso. With that torso, he did number of great things in his life, and he is a multiple talented person. You know something? Nick sir can play football, golf, and also he can swim and surfs. So, as a disabled person, he is doing all these things. He learned all these things in his life. You know something? As a well-organized people, why can't we do better than Nick sir? Definitely we can do it. When we trust ourselves strongly, when we keep faith on ourselves strongly, we can definitely do better than Nick sir, definitely. So, but we are not knowing about ourselves. We are always thinking about self, we can't do that, we are not fit to do that. So, when we think in that way, we can never do anything good in our life. So, we just avoided this kind of attitude from ourselves, and we should maintain a good attitude. So with that, we can definitely do wonders in our life. There is no more doubt about this. Okay? And now I'm going to read the next passage. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him to kick. He uses his one foot to type, write with a pen, and pick things up between his toes. You know something? Nick sir has a small foot on his left hip. That small foot helping to the Nick sir in all ways. So that small foot made him great in his life. You know something? With that small foot, is trying to balance himself, and he's typing keyboard. You know something? If you want to type keyboard, definitely we use fingers, we use hand to type. But Nick sir is not like that, because he doesn't have a hands like us. That's why he using that small foot which Nick sir has on his left hip to type the keyboard, and he's holding pen and writing with that small foot. So if you want to write, definitely what you use in our body? Definitely hands. We have hands. That's why we can hold pen with our hands and we can write something. Definitely. So, Nick sir is holding pen with that small foot and writing with that small foot. So that we need to remember and think. And he's taking things between his toes. So if you want to take anything, definitely generally we use our hands to take things, but it's not like that. Nick sir is using that small foot to take things between his toes. Okay, and next I'm going to read the next passage. I call it my chicken drumstick, joked Nick. So Nick sir generally joked about himself on that small foot particularly. So he called that small foot as a chicken drumstick. You know something? There is a very usual habit. One person jokes about another, so we know that very well, but it's not like that here is happening by Nick sir. Nick sir is joking about himself particularly on his foot, which Nick sir has on his left hip. So who was born in Melbourne, Australia? Nick sir got his birth in Melbourne, which is located in Australia, but now lives in Los Angeles. So maybe some years later he moved Los Angeles from Melbourne. So now Nick sir is living in Los Angeles. So I would be lost without it. So Nick sir always remember about his small foot. If I don't get that small foot on my left hip, I would be nothing. I wouldn't do all these things. Maybe what I did all in my life only because of that small foot which I has on my left hip. If I don't get that small foot, I would be nothing. I didn't do all these things. So I'm just reminding that for you, my dear students. Next I'm going to read the next passage. Water sports aren't Nick's only thing. He also plays golf with a club tucked under his chin, and he is a huge fan of the English Premier League. You know something, Already I said you, Nick sir can swim, but water sports only his things. He can play golf, so he can hold that small stick under his chin and he can play golf like this. He can play golf like this. Of course, we know that golf is a game where we play in a big yard. Open yard. Okay. So he can play golf. He can play golf. And one more thing very important what we need to discuss about Nick sir. He's a huge fan of English Premier League, EPL. So whenever you listen that EPL, what is EPL? What is EPL? Don't worry. We have a knowledge about IPL, Indian Premier League. It is belongs to the game cricket. In the same manner, EPL, English Premier League, it is also belongs the game of football. So it is belongs to football. Of course, we know very well. Nick sir is a football player. That's why he is a great, good and big fan of English Premier League. And I'm hoping you understanding all this, my dear students. EPL is a English Premier League, belongs to the game of football. Belongs to the game of football. Okay. Next, I'm going to read the next passage. His parents decided not to send him to a special school. A decision he said was very hard for him, but which may have been the best decision they could have made for him. You know something? Nick parents decided not to send him a special school. Of course, if you know or not, I don't know, but disabled people, they go for their education for a particular schools, special schools. So, but Nick sir's parents did not want to send their son to a special schools. They want to send their sons like normal school. Normal school means our school. So that is a very big decision what they made, what they took in Nick sir's life. That is very hard for Nick sir. But Nick sir also expressing his idea. You know something, that day my parents taken that decision in my life. That decision completely changed my life a lot. So if I don't want to go, if I didn't go for a normal school, I did not do all these things in my life. So if I did all these things only because of that decision what my parents taken on that day. So the decision helped me a lot. So in that way, Nick sir is feeling and expressing his feeling about his parents' decision. But the decision is very hard for him. You know something, if a disabled person come to our class, we can definitely tease him, and we can make him fun of him, and we can make number of jokes. So that is very feeling bad. The person who is receiving all this definitely feel very bad about that. But Nick sir also felt all these kind of situations in his school life, and he overcame all these tragedies, all these situations. That's why now today he become a wonderful person in his life. And now I'm going to read the next passage. When Nick was born, his father was so shocked that he left the hospital room to vomit. His distraught mother couldn't bring herself to hold him until he was 4 months old. You know something, when Nick sir got his birth in the hospital, immediately when his father looked his son, immediately left the hospital room to vomit. You know something, as a parent, everybody wish definitely we will get a nice baby, either boy or a girl, whatever may be, but we should get a nice baby, well organized baby. But unfortunately something wrong happened in their life on their day in hospital. When he saw his son, immediately he left the hospital room and vomit. So, and also one more thing, Nick sir mother also felt very problematic situation to hold him. Until Nick sir got 4 months, she didn't hold his baby on his hands, on her hands. So this is the situation in Nick sir's life. It is very terrible to think, and It is very so sad about Nick sir. So his distraught mother also did not hold her son until he get 4 months old. So these 4 months old, his parents did not hold their son into their hands. That we need to understand here, my dear students. Okay, and this is the passages what I would like to teach you today in this video, and let me continue the story in the next video. Until then, see you. Bye, my dear students. Have a nice day, everyone.